mission to shed a light on the incredible journey of aspiring and inspiring individuals in the city of Kandy.
Kandy Talks is an initiative by the Kandy Global Shapers community.
Welcome. Let's explore Home of Hope. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, to Kandy Talks.
Thank you, Savera, for inviting us.
Thank you.
Okay, so to start the interview, would you please explain to us what Home of Hope is?
Home of Hope is a multi-ethnic, multi-religious organization, a NGO. We cater to children with all needs, and we are helping them to come up in life, do well, and be a useful citizen for our country.
So, what sort of services does Home of Hope offer the community?
It is a children's home, started with a children's home, and it houses about 89 children right now. But throughout the years, if you go through, it's about 400 and odd children who have been here. And we give them education, and we have music, dancing, free dancing, you name it, talent shows, variety shows, everything what can help them to grow and make themselves very confident. And our theme if you walk into the auditorium, you will see, I am exceptional. So these are all done to make them there. And we have a special school where our special needs children come from our health and therapy center. And then we have, even in our children's home, normal children, we ourselves, I think, will have some kind of a abnormality somewhere. So some children are difficult in speech or writing or their posture. So we have this health and therapy center where we have a physiotherapist, a speech therapist, and even the special school is used for our normal children. All this is like a life circle for them. They get help not only in their education but spiritually, mentally, physically, everything is seen to make them whole.
I think that's wonderful. You mentioned that there's a special school here.
Yes.
Do you offer all of these services free of charge?
Yes, nothing is, even the computer center, it's used for the community, and nothing, we don't take anything from that.
I think that's amazing that such an establishment exists here in Sri Lanka that cater to children who are in need and completely free of charge as well. So, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, also, could you explain to us how it's different from other child development centers in Sri Lanka?
Savera, to begin with, all the children's homes do the best. All the child development centers try to do their best for the children who are under their care. But in our thing, we are blessed with such a lot of space and such a lot of facilities which can help the children to educate themselves and stand on their own and to be exceptional again.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, let's move on to the next topic of our interview. So, it's Kandy. So, you've both been raised in Kandy, I understand. And I'm pretty sure that you have wonderful experiences and very fond memories in Kandy. So, can you share some of those experiences and memories with us?
For me, if I think about my childhood or just think about Kandy, even now, the community in Kandy is much more calmer than any other places I can think of. And the rush life in Kandy is much more less, and the peace you find when you walk around, when you see the things which are in Kandy town, the lake or whatever. One little incident I can remember when I went with the children to the park here that I will never forget. And when we were walking along the lake, walking around the lake, there's a little label put there, Kandy Municipal or whatever. One of the little ones said, "They're homophobe dala tiyanwa." So that incident, comparing such a beautiful place with our home here was so touching. Something beautiful compared with our home. So that is the impact which Home of Hope has come in their minds to compare that beautiful place with our home.
That's such a sweet.
Yes. And I think that was really a fond memory for me, even now, and for the children, and I'll never forget it.
Mr. Perera, do you have anything you would like to share? Fond memory in Kandy?
Yes. That is watching a rugby match. CR and Kandy. CR winning the match.
You're a rugby fan. Okay, so moving on to the next question. So Home of Hope is based in Digana. So what sort of support does Home of Hope get from the community in Digana?
Maybe some of them come to give alms giving or something like that. More than the community is helping us, it is more going out from us toward the community, because it's a community that a poor community that lives around here, breaking stones and living with that income. So even the kids, they some of them don't go even to the school, so we are trying to help them more than they, so they appreciate those things. Even I can remember when our children go to school by bus, we used to help some of these kids around here to go with in our bus to school and things like that. So they are, most of them are thankful for what we are doing for the community. So that is what we get, the thankfulness from them.
Yes, and when our children are on the road and when no one is around, that's the way they show their gratitude. They will quickly call and say, "Madam, I saw this child on the road alone. What's happening? No one is around." So that's a little thing of gratitude they do. Okay, we are taking care of the place, and those ones, and at that time we can be a help. And even the three-wheelers drivers or anyone, if they see us or our children somewhere or in trouble, somewhere from some corner, someone will call us and tell, "We are there, can we do something?" So that's the way they pay back.
It's so great to hear that you are able to help them and they are also able to support you in running your establishment. So what sort of support can the community in Kandy give you to improve and maintain Home of Hope?
That's a question to think about. Kandy,
People who are there who can help, not with finances, not with material things, but to develop the children in their education life,
yes,
or
definitely.
training place, get them into a training place, something like that. Thank God we don't need any, not that we don't need, but what we have is more than enough, the support that we have. So those are not the things that we need, the normal help for the kids to grow up in their education or in their skills or professions. That's the only thing that we would appreciate very much if you can get.
I'm pretty sure that our viewers would be interested in the type of the work that you're doing here, and they would be, some of them would be willing to help you with the services that you need now. So Mr. and Mrs. Perera, what I understood from what you said is that Home of Hope is a very new concept. It's a different approach to a social issue that we have. So could you please tell us what made you come up with this concept?
The first thing is the need, because we could see that there was a need for these destitute children who are in need, needs a place. Because we have been working in another children's home and we have seen how many children, parents who are in need come to drop off their children. So there were instances we could see that they were said no. And the way the parents went off, or the mother or the aunt, or we couldn't help them, and that was the time we were both of us were there. We had this urge, someday, one day we are going to do this, and the rest Mr. Perera will tell.
Yes. We were, pushed, or we were forced to have a place like this because of the need. We have been looking at it. And then also, we always have wanted to help kids to develop themselves, but the need for their education or any other thing, but all these things began when we look back at ourselves, where we started, how we were as children,
Yes.
and the things that we went through as children. So both of us have been discussing about these things because we didn't have a good past. That means our families were okay, but we didn't have all, because we were big families. So we had 5 in our family, and we had 8 in our family, and our parents couldn't provide everything for us. But then those things actually been in ourselves, and what we lacked in school, what we lacked in the society as children, this pushed us, because we had a concern for needy kids, and we wanted to give them what we didn't have.
Okay. That's wonderful to hear that your childhood has influenced in your decision to start such an establishment. So, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, you've been running this establishment for, I understand, 24 years. So, I'm pretty sure that you have come across many challenges. So, can you share with us some of the challenges that you have faced when running Home of Hope, and also how you overcame them?
In the beginning, this was started for the war-affected kids. And they were really have gone through hardships, and they could actually, when they came here, we went to get some children to help through UNICEF and some other churches. When they came here, they were at each other because they have been living in a society of fighting, shooting, killing. So when they came in here also, they had that influence. But both of us have to show love and build them up to get over those things. And there are so many challenges, Sometimes you find after school they come, and maybe one child is trying to take the instrument box and
the sharp thing in it, and then stab.
Then like
that kind of thing, where this was not that established at that time. It was full of grass, grown grass. So one day when he walked in, he was there, and he could see one of the children screaming to see, wanting to stab, So the trauma they have gone through, that's nothing we can find fault with the child, but the trauma they have gone through, that is what they have seen. And to come to a peaceful place, it took us time. It took us, I think, many years for them to mold them, to speak to them, to actually build love into them. They don't know the meaning of love. They really don't know friendship, love, harmony, peace. It took us time. That was a real challenge for us. Yes. And the COVID time, oh my God, 89, 86 children, all online studies. What are we going to do? They were at home inside the house. Oh, that was a big challenge. And the food, oh, those were all big challenges. And I'm sure the next question will be, how did you overcome? Yes, but thank God, we were able to step by step, even during the COVID time, all the children had laptops, and they did their studies from 4:35 in the morning till 10 o'clock, 11 in the night. Our house was all full of children. Even there's a blind girl. She was also at the computer listening to it, and that is how. And we stocked food, and we were able to. We were really blessed that we were given computers. Next moment, all the children had laptops, and we really were blessed that we were able to overcome that challenge. And of course, the other challenges are getting in them to school and the differences. Oh, they come from a children's home. Munta mokadda puluwan. Munta monawat naha. Munta kawurut naha. That kind of challenge. How we had to stand for them, speak on behalf of them, and to make them equal. He always said, when our children go somewhere or do something, they should be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the normal children. That is how they can fight their ownership.
I think you're doing amazing service here. So you said that you were facing challenges when it came to food during COVID. So when we came here, we saw some farmlands and greenhouses. So are you a self-sustaining establishment?
Yes, that motivated us. The COVID motivated us to concentrate more on the vegetation, to grow our own food, because one day we talk about sustainability. And I'm sure we are coming to that now, because we have, if we can tell about the greenhouses, yes.
Yeah, we have sufficient room to grow outside in the open area, as well as we have 3 greenhouses. So we grow the vegetables that we require for ourselves, and then maybe 50 to 60% of our requirements are produced here, and then after that, whatever we have excess, we sell it on a cheaper rate for the people around this village, you know. And then of course, after the COVID, I think there was a rumor that there will be a shortage of food. So we plan to stock paddy, and we got a small milling machine, and we started keeping stocks for any emergency. So all those stocks that we collected at that time are still we are using at our place, because anyway, thank God for all the support that we have got from so many people to build this place, to provide all what we required, you know.
So do the children get involved in the farming activities?
We gave them a training, and then of course when they are at home, they work together.
During vacation, we all out.
We work with them. We take the leadership and we work with them, and then they pick up. And even there are some kids having their notebooks and
because they do agriculture as a subject, so they're learning the process. And it's nice. And even we have chickens, and we have our own eggs now. Yes.
I think that's amazing how children are also involved in these activities. I think that helps with the well-rounded development of a child. And also you have faced some challenges, and I'm pretty sure that our viewers would learn a lot of lessons from the experiences that you just shared, and they would appreciate all the knowledge. Mr. and Mrs. Perera, you do such amazing work at Home of Hope, and you help the community in so many different ways. So you are truly an inspiration to all of us. So how do you think you can inspire the younger generation, the other individuals who are interested in the type of work that you're doing?
I don't know exactly to say whether it's a problem, to get the younger generation involved in this type of work, because for us we are finding difficulties to find people to help the children. So we have to work out some programs for younger generation to come into full-time work, social work with the children. So those are some new thoughts that we have and we want to think of, because otherwise always it's difficult to find, because that is we don't find fault with the youth, because everyone likes to go up in life and do well. But here it's completely a dedication. You give up your life to help others. So it's left to them how they can fit into a society like this and how to help.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's our younger generation would love to help, and we would like to get the message out for you as well. So, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, what goals do you have for the future of Home of Hope? It could be the personal goals or professional goals.
Professionally, we want to come up in more when you reintegrate children back into their families, we find that sometimes there is a misfit because of the they lack the bond with the parents or whoever. We cannot call them parents because it's always a mother or the father and an uncle or an aunt or grandma who is the closest to the child or children who are here. And after they're educated, and the gap between them and our children, because they're so well equipped with all the knowledge and how to fight themselves, stand on their own, life skills are given, whereas the parents are still there, which you can find that gap never comes together. They cannot fit in. So we were thinking about it, and then one of our who are helping us have come up with the thought, and we are fully for it, to start a program where we educate the parents or the grandmother or the uncle before the child comes in, get them ready. Not because of when the child is 18 and then they are educated, they are working, and to earn out of them, not to live out of them, but the real want. I want this child home. We have been missing you. Because of the problems we had, we didn't have you here. This is why we gave you here. But we really want you at home. We want to build that feeling into them. Place them in a place. It's not the child you are going to earn and eat out of it. But he or she is a precious gift that you are given, and take care of it. And to make them there and to give them back there, because all the
That's all right.
all what the love, because some children love us more than them. They will never leave us. I remember when my hand was broken, the whole house was like, what happened to Auntie? That's the bond we have, because we have brought them there. So if they cannot give that love, the parents cannot give that love to these ones, where are they going to go, Savera? What are they going to look for? Then they will talk about prostitution, they'll talk about nightclubs, the children's home children, they will never come up in life, they will be taken there, here. No, they are not that. They are much more worth it. These children are much more worth it, and they can do it. So that is why we want to make them realize these are precious gifts God has given you, and we have molded them, brought them, get them back home because you want them. And that is our goal.
That's a wonderful and a lovely goal, and we hope from the bottom of our hearts that you'd be able to fulfill that in the near future itself. And it's been a wonderful experience interviewing, and we learned a lot of things about Home of Hope, the services that you do, and it's amazing. I don't even have enough words to express how the amazing service that you do here. So thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Perera, for taking part in our interview and being a part of Kandy Talks.
Thank you for taking your time and letting us be a part of it. Thank you so much.